computer and I was going to scroll it. But to the class of 2015, to Wanda, Stephanie, parents, and the rest of you, welcome. When Wanda asked me to talk about 2 months ago, I guess, I kind of volunteered, I think. I volunteered myself somehow. I started thinking when I was driving home with Michaela from Fredericksburg back to where I was in Fields, and I started thinking, what can I say? The conversations with my daughter alone are really short, especially nowadays with modern technology, where they say, hey, see you later, it's done in like a C, a U, and a L, and an A, and a R. It's like, okay, what can I say? But I'm going to go back to like Brent's video. I got mine, American Tire, just in honor of you, so. Flag Day days. And the American spirit. It's strong. It's strong. But when I was trying to figure out what to talk about, I talk for a living, by the way. I teach, but I teach money. So if you want me to talk for the next couple hours on money, I'll be glad to do that. There was one slide that I kind of got the Dow Jones. We can talk about that for about 45 minutes if you want, but I don't think you want to on a Friday night. But when Wanda asked me to talk, I was like, okay, what can I say? What can I say that really has a big impact? And I thought about a commencement speech I heard by Theodore Gessen. Does anybody know who that is? Dr. Seuss, yeah. I'm not as smart or as witty as Dr. Seuss, because his commencement speech was only 92 words. If I could write something that succinct and not this speech in 92 words, I'd be well known as Dr. Seuss too, or Dr. Bob or something. But I encourage you to Google it. It's out there. He gave a speech at Lake Forest or Lakewood Junior College. Go ahead and Google it. And you know, speaking of Google and a snapshot of, I'm going to pick on Brent for a couple of things, and this wasn't planned, by the way, but he did a snapshot of everything that happened during his lifetime. I was thinking about mine when I graduated high school, which coincidentally, and I brought this up with Wanda before we started talking, before ceremonies, Wanda does a wonderful job with Reach. I mean, a wonderful job. Sometimes I'm tempted just to put Wanda's name or Reach on my spam notifications, or it just goes to my spam box, but that was only a joke. But you know, I look at all these different places to go to, and some of the times there's field trips to Secretariat's home or the farm. Anybody go there? Come on, someone's got to, we're in church, don't lie. But someone's at least got to say, yeah, I thought about going. But, yeah. But I bring up Secretariat because that's not when I was graduating high school. Before Google, before the internet, and you bring up the Apple Watch, and that was when an apple was something we ate, or maybe peeled and ate apple pie. It wasn't, something we were, or something that's in my pocket, cell phones and everything else. But I thought about that because of last week in the Triple Crown. Somebody else finally got the Triple Crown. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, plus to let you know really how old I am. So, and again, I gotta wear these glasses so I can read my notes. I should have figured this out. I should put my speech up there. Should have worked with the associate pastor and got my speeches up there. I don't know the difference. Okay, speaking of technology, Apple, everything else. My first piece of advice, or my words of wisdom to the graduating class and even the younger guys. And there were some younger people in the room, is to learn technology. Learn technology. Learn to use it to your advantage and keep relearning it. Because you're going to get out there into the world, into the workforce, and there's going to be people like me who call my son when I need to figure out, when he's with his mother, I call my son or text my son and ask him how to use the game controller thing to turn on the Xbox, or because now it goes to the Xbox, my TV does. So it's like, how do you do this, or what am I doing wrong? It's hit A, hit B, it's like, pull up the glasses and look at it. So learn technology, okay? It's the way of the world. Just the things that happened since you guys were born. You saw a lot of those were world events, but really, learn technology. Now, if you're still fascinated by the fact that I graduated way back in the mid-70s, and I'm that old, and although I don't look it, but reminds me of a country song I actually heard on the way over here by Billy Currington. Any country music fans out here? Billy Currington, there's a song they're playing right now going, how to expect to be old and wise without being young and crazy? Well, there's the second bit of advice right there. You guys know the song I'm talking about? If not, you can Google it. Brent would be glad to show you how to Google that stuff. Google it. It's a great song. I love listening to words of songs and putting them into use. some really good songs out there with some really powerful words. Michael Jackson is one of the people on the slides. I'm going to quote a couple Michael Jackson words out of one of his songs. So, but how do you expect me to get old and wise without being young and crazy? Well, let's talk about it. I don't encourage you to go out there and be crazy, but more along the lines of being adventurous, just to go out there and take chances. You guys are young enough to be able to do that. Go out there and take chances. And I would really encourage you to do that. I don't want you to be part of that, well, when you get to be my age or maybe a little bit older, be out there part of that, well, I could have, or I would have, or I should have, but pretty much I didn't. Go out and do all that. So when you get to be my age, you say, I did that, I did this, I did this. You got those memories to take with you. Let's go back to Dr. Seuss. In the words of Dr. Seuss, be who you are. That's up there. Be who you are and say what you feel. Because those who mind don't matter. And those who matter don't mind. So again, go out there, be young, be adventurous, go out in the world. A lot of us are looking forward to retirement and moving on. And you're our new leaders out there, so take advantage of that. I like Dr. Seuss too. Right now, I don't know if anybody knows who I am. I am a retired Marine. I work for a veterans organization right now. And I'm the director of education there, so I have 3 main responsibilities, and I want to touch on those real quick, but especially the last one. My first job is I teach. I travel around the country teaching finances to service members of all ages and all ranks, so in about a year, if I'm going to be joining the service, I could be teaching you guys. So, and I teach you guys who have been for 30 plus years, getting ready to retire, and other things. The second job is I do a lot of long-range financial counseling and estate planning. But the third part of my job, which kind of leads me to the whole gist of what I want to talk about for the next 30, 35 minutes, is not that long, trust me. I just want to see if anyone's actually paying attention. The third part of my job is I get to work a lot with widows. And I shouldn't say a lot, but I work a lot with widows. And it's not the most pleasurable part of my job. It's really about the only time right now that I'm really serious. So I work with a lot of them, and I do benefits and money. So I'm not bringing, I don't deal with a lot of their feelings and emotions and that. We do a lot of money and a lot of the government benefits. That they have earned through their service member spouses' years of service. So I spend a lot of time talking with them. I get to work with also active duty service members, and as a lot of the video clips you saw, the last 14, 15 years of our life, we've been in war. And I work a lot with the service members up at Bethesda, now Walter Reed. And some of these guys, I tell you, they're in pretty bad shape, but their spirits are great. We call them death imminent. So I don't want to make you cry, and it's Friday night, so I don't want to make you sad and everything else like that. But from talking to these people, a lot of these service members who have looked death in the face, and now have their whole life turned around, turned upside down, it's just totally different. Talking with them, again, I talk